News is broke that Meta is cutting 600 AI roles. But what does that actually mean? Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. Meta is cutting 600 roles in their AI division in an attempt apparently to move faster. Axios reports the downsizing will impact a significant chunk of the several thousand-strong AI team. Chief AI Officer Alexander Wang wrote in a memo to staff, "By reducing the size of our team, fewer conversations will be required to make a decision, and each person will be load-bearing and have more scope and impact." Staff reportedly learned if they were among the cuts on Wednesday morning. Affected employees were encouraged to apply for other jobs at Meta, and Wang expects most of them to find another position internally where they could apply their AI skills. He wrote, "This is a talented group of individuals, and we need their skills in other parts of the company." Now, by some accounts, this is now the 5th restructuring of Meta's AI division this year. Meta disputes that characterization, instead viewing this as a continuous effort to nail down the right organizational structure. Notably, one of those reorgs involved rolling up existing AI teams into the newly constituted Superintelligence Lab. From there, the expensive superstar hires that took place over the summer were concentrated into a subdivision known as TBD Labs. Reporting states that the layoffs won't impact TBD Labs, instead thinning out the FAIR AI Research Lab, the AI Product Team, and the AI Infrastructure Unit. Meta also continues to actively recruit more elite AI researchers for TBD Labs, even as they're doing these other layoffs. Bringing together multiple divisions and figuring out how to make this all work in harmony is no easy task. Just ask Google, who took over a year to do this between their various AI organizations as well. Still, to some, this feels like a recipe for even more discontent in Meta's AI organization. Earlier reporting had suggested that bringing existing AI workers into the Superintelligence Lab was an effort to quell morale issues. There was a suggestion that existing workers didn't want to be left out of the company's new initiative and stuck working on legacy projects like updates to Llama 4. The good news for the folks impacted is that this is an absolute hiring bonanza for every other AI company, and they are jumping on it very quickly. Look, ultimately, when it comes to Meta, it's all going to be about the next AI products they actually put out. If Llama 5 is a banger, no one will care about all this turmoil. And if it's not, well, that'll be a whole different discussion. Next up, some interesting M&A news. Adobe is apparently considering or has considered a multi-billion-dollar acquisition to keep up with the AI boom. The information reports that Adobe had discussed acquiring AI video and avatar generation company Synthesia for $3 billion. That would be a markup from Synthesia's $2.1 billion valuation from a fundraising round back in January. Adobe's venture arm invested an undisclosed amount into Synthesia earlier this year to form a strategic partnership. So this would be taking that to the next level. Now, while Adobe has been steadily adding AI features over recent years, they're viewed as one of the software companies most at risk of disruption during the AI boom. Their stock is down almost 20% so far this year in an otherwise hot market for tech companies. A splashy acquisition could be a way for them to shake up the narrative. Synthesia's technology also does fit into Adobe's latest AI venture, which is a platform called AI Foundry that offers businesses a way to build custom image and video models based on their branding and IP. Some, though, think the market's antipathy towards Adobe is overblown. Francois Chalet, one of the founders of the ARC AGI Prize, wrote, "Adobe is caught in a similar narrative as Google was 6 months ago. Everybody, and I mean everybody, currently believes that Adobe is dead in the water because of Gen AI disruption. As a result, Adobe has been aggressively selling off for 2 years. There's just one small problem. The narrative is dead wrong. Adobe is not Stack Overflow or Chegg. No one is canceling their Photoshop subscription because they started using Gen AI, which would be completely obvious if investors had any familiarity with Adobe products and their customers and use cases. Ultimately, he says it's likely Gen AI will actually turn into a tailwind, letting Adobe ship better features and deepen its moat. Gen AI, he argues, is a commodity tech now and tends to help established players." So there you go. Not financial advice on this show, but Francois is basically saying, buy Adobe, man. Next up, a couple of product updates. The first big upgrade is coming for OpenAI's Sora app, specifically focused on expanding the use of the Cameo feature. OpenAI's head of Sora, Bill Peebles, writes, "Character cameos are coming in the next few days. You'll be able to cameo your dog, guinea pig, favorite stuffed toy, and pretty much anything else you want." He also noted that people will be able to create cameos of the characters that they've generated from their Sora videos, which opens up a lot of really interesting creative possibilities. Additionally, they are adding basic video editing to the app, including stitching together multiple clips. They say they're continuing to work on over-moderation, and that they have a bunch of experiments around making the social experience much better, hinting at channels that could be specific to a university, company, or sports club. Meanwhile, Sora seems to be following the exact patterns of the internet before it. Justine Moore writes, "The number one video on the Sora app right now by a wide margin is this obese cat steamrolling a house. I'm beginning to wonder if the killer use case of AI video is just creating more cat videos until the entire internet is completely overrun by them. Something to consider." Meanwhile, for those of you who are interested in ChatGPT's Atlas browser, product lead Adam Fry shared a group of short-term fixes that are coming over the coming weeks. In what looks like basically a Notion list shared directly to Twitter, which I kind of love as a communication style, their post-launch fixes include multi-profile support, tab groups, a model picker in the Ask ChatGPT sidebar, the ability to use projects in the ChatGPT sidebar, an opt-in ad blocker, and just a whole bunch of other upgrades. Now, ultimately, whether any of those change the fundamental question of whether the use case matters to you, I'm not so sure, but this is certainly not a product that they've just put out there and are now going to forget. Lastly today, one more interesting story surrounding OpenAI. The company is forging ahead with vertical agents as rumors emerge of a secret project to train their models on investment banking. Bloomberg reports that OpenAI has engaged a team of more than 100 former investment bankers to help teach their AI to build financial models. The project is codenamed Mercury, according to documents viewed by reporters. Participants are being paid $150 an hour to write prompts and provide feedback on financial models for a range of transaction types. This includes restructurings and IPOs, with the goal of producing an agent that can complete entry-level tasks typically performed by a junior banker. The work is also reportedly focused on training on industry formatting norms, things like italicizing percentages and using correct margins. Now, of course, this type of reinforcement learning project has become a major focus of several AI labs as they work on products for the coming year. Mira Murati's Thinking Machines lab has been heavily focused on using the technique, and data labeling startups like Mercor are increasingly recruiting specialists to guide reinforcement learning. The goal is to produce models that have specialist knowledge and reasoning capabilities related to particular areas of professional work, and apparently OpenAI sees investment banking as low-hanging fruit. Junior investment bankers notoriously work insane hours in a highly compensated field, so a specialist agent that could handle some of the load could be an easy sell. This could also be part of OpenAI's plan to sell vertical agents that could replace human workers in specialist fields. Now, whether this is still how OpenAI is thinking about it, it's not exactly clear. These reports on specialist agents came from back in May, and as we all know, 5.5 or 6 months of AI time is about 30 years in regular time. In any case, for now, that's going to do it for today's headlines. Next up, the main episode.